So, a few days back in my last video, we talked about Yash, who was 26, just like one of us. He had just achieved his dream salary, his parents were proud of him, and he was living the life that he had always imagined. After 5 years of working, he was feeling confident about the future that he was building. He was feeling a sense of security until that one meeting that his manager called. And in those 5 minutes, his feeling of security turned into anxiety and distress because he was being let go. His role was being eliminated and he was getting fired. And suddenly, the future that he was feeling so confident about didn't even feel certain anymore. But getting fired wasn't what scared him the most. It was what he realized afterwards, that everything that he had owned, everything that he has built in this 5 years, depended on just one thing: his next salary. If you want to know the complete story of what happened with Yash, I have linked the part 1 here. You can go and watch it. But this did have to be Yash's story. Because 5 years earlier, Yash was 21. First job, first salary. First time seeing his own money hit his bank account. He didn't know he'd get fired at 26. None of us do. But he could have made a few different choices. Choices that wouldn't have stopped him from enjoying his 20s, but would have meant that 5 years later, his salary wasn't the only thing keeping his life alive. This is where this story gets interesting, because there are things that Yash could have been building quietly in the background while he was busy building his career. The first one starts with something very simple: his money. Imagine Yash gets his first paycheck of 60,000 at the age of 21, and instead of letting his lifestyle absorb majority of the amount, he decides that 20% of every paycheck will belong to his future self. So 12,000 every month. He invests it consistently. Nothing fancy, just time and discipline. With an assumed result of 12% per annum, after 5 years when he's 26, those monthly investments could have grown to up to 9.8 lakhs. That's right. His contribution, 7.2 lakhs. Remaining was the gain that he made. Now go back to the morning Yash got fired. That 9.8 lakh doesn't make the unemployment fun. But suddenly, he has that breathing room. He has time to find the right job instead of desperately taking the first one he gets. And more importantly, while Yash was working for his salary, his money was working for him. That's a financial asset. And I want you to answer this honestly. If your salary stopped tomorrow, how many months would your current savings support you? 1, 2, 6 months? Put the number down in the comments, because I genuinely want to know. But money wasn't the only thing that Yash could have built. At 21, imagine Yash and a friend started something small. Not a massive startup, maybe just an Instagram store, a small service business, a reselling business, something that they could have built alongside their job. First, it barely makes anything. 1 month it's 2,000, another month it's 7,000, but they keep improving. They build system, they get customers, they eventually hire someone to manage the daily tasks. And slowly, Yash isn't just working from the hours he works. He owns something. Something that can potentially generate income without requiring him to personally do every single task. That's a business asset. And maybe that's something worth asking yourself too. Are you spending all your time building someone else's business? Or are you building something that belongs to you too? This one is my favorite. Imagine Yash had started a YouTube channel at 21. Maybe he loved technology. His first video gets 40 views. Next one 70, then maybe 200. Nothing impressive, but he keeps on going. He learns how to speak, he learns how to edit, how to explain, how to build an audience. Maybe instead he learns a valuable skill and turns it into an ebook. Something that he can sell or distribute repeatedly. 5 years later, while he does not have his job, but he still has those videos, ebook is still there. That course is still there. So think about it, that one day's work can keep creating value for Yash for years. That's the beauty of digital assets. He still lost his job, but he didn't lose his financial foundation. And that is the real lesson. Yash losing his job was never the biggest problem. The problem was that his income disappeared and he had nothing to replace it. So don't spend your 20s asking, how can I increase my salary? Ask yourself, what am I building today that will exist even if my salary disappears tomorrow? Because your salary can pay for your lifestyle, but your assets protect your freedom. If you're someone who's trying to figure out money, do subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.